Well, good evening, fellow YouTubers. This is Radmal once again with a rant from the virtual midlife crisis. If you're unfamiliar with my story or uninvolved or you're curious, drop by myvirtualmidlifecrisis.freewebspace.com and you can find out more about it. I was hoping today someone could help me find my sense of humor. I took a nice long ride today, did about 30 miles, went up to Arcata and screwed up. I was thinking today was Thursday. And in fact, it was Wednesday, so the thing I went up to see, they were having a snowboarding event up there. I was going to watch some people snowboard on shaved ice, and that'll be happening tomorrow, so I'll be taking another ride up there then. But I was just thinking on the way, riding and thinking, and the more I thought, the angrier I got. And what I'm unhappy about, or what's bugging me, is the nostalgia for the Clinton era. I'm listening to the news, and everyone's talking about Hillary Clinton like she's going to be the next president of the United States, or at least a Democratic nominee. It's preeminent. And I know that Bush has been a horrible president, that his tenure as president has been a total fucking disaster from day one. He's appointed evil people to the Supreme Court. They've tried to steal basically from the poor to give to the rich at every opportunity. His cronies are everywhere, and it'll probably take a decade to straighten that out. But even as horrible as Bush is, I'm not nostalgic for the Clinton era. I remember back how Clinton screwed us at every turn, how the gutlessness and lying that he participated in ended up really not helping. I'll just give you a few examples. It wasn't Bush that sent the jobs to China. It was Clinton that sent the jobs to China. You know, the reason that your children are going to be dying from poison toys this year it's not George Bush's fault. It's Bill Clinton's fault. And Hillary's claiming that her experience as first lady is what qualifies her to be president. So if that's her argument, she's responsible. When it came time for us to get some civil rights for gays and lesbians in America, who was it that gave us "Don't Ask, Don't Tell"? It was Bill Clinton and his gutless cohorts. So, and when Hillary was a senator, she voted for that ridiculous domestic or DOMA, Defense of Marriage Act, which is about the most retarded thing I've ever heard of. But she's the one that voted to codify discrimination. So it's not like she's going to help you if that's your issue. I'm into civil rights. If they can take the rights of someone else away, they can take away my rights, and that's why. I mean, I'm not gay or a lesbian, but I think they have a right to live just like everyone else, and they're entitled to their civil rights just like I am. And if you can take them away from them, you can take them away from me. It's not like Bill Clinton ever did anything for anyone other than his little cronies. And crony capitalism is what's ruining America today. George Bush and Brownie, well, we're going to have Hillary Clinton and Walmart and Tyson Chicken. Hillary Clinton and the Clintons are the ones that destroyed Main Street businesses. They're the ones that made it a Walmart America, not George Bush. George Bush is an evil guy, don't get me wrong. This is no way a defense of the policies of torture, and warmongering that Bush has favored. But Hillary Clinton's just as big a warmonger. She's the one who stands and what now wants to invade Iraq. She wants to name the army of a foreign nation as a terrorist organization. Well, Iran is kind of some weird motherfuckers. I'm not down with the Sharia law and the Muslim fundamentalists. Of course, the term Islamofascism, there are no corporations in Pakistan and Iran and Afghanistan. The corporations are here in America. So the fascists are here. They may be some weird motherfuckers, but they're not fascists. So let's just lose that term altogether. Let's see, what else did the Clintons do for us? Well, really not a whole lot. It was the Clintons that reformed welfare so that now poor women can't go to college. They have to go out and get a job even though there's no child care for their children. But it was the Clintons that prevented that from happening. The Clintons reformed welfare in such a way that poor women can't get the education they need to lift themselves out of poverty. So let's not get nostalgic for never was. We all blame the Republicans and the conservatives for wanting to go back to the 50s. Well, The 50s were never the way they were. Leave It to Beaver was a TV show. Well, the 90s were not so great either. At the end of the 90s, all the money still went to the rich. All of the privileges still went to the 1%. So when we're talking about, gee, wouldn't it be nice to go back? Well, it would maybe be nice to go back to a time when Americans weren't being spied upon, when the CIA wasn't listening in to me as I record this. Since I may send this overseas someday, but let's not get crazy and think that Hillary Clinton or any other of the crony Democrats will be much better. If you really want a better world, you've got to get over the idea that people like Dennis Kucinich are crazy, because he's not. If you look at his policies, everything he's proposing will make this a better world. If you want another liar, if you want another 4 years of lies and cronies and all the money going to the top 1%, if you want bigotry to prevail, then go ahead and support the Hillaryites. In case you couldn't tell, I was having a kind of a bad day, so this may be a little more negative than I intended, but what you gonna do? This is Radmal from My Virtual Midlife Crisis, putting on a little rant today. Normally I have a little more positive tone, but drop by and see me.